and welcome to this bonus edition of the Bones Horror Podcast. There's only two of us tonight, so we've got with us Jess.
Hello.
And of course, I'm Kev. And yeah, the other two are doing other stuff. I've got no idea what they're doing, really. Probably trying to get home from somewhere normally. That's normally what's going on. But we missed last week, so we thought, well, we can't miss another week because it seems to be growing at the moment in the podcast. And so we thought we'd put some out there. So instead of reviewing the Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it was 5. Was it the Dream? Was it a Dream Child or was it another? It was Dream Child, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dream Child. Where would you do that? I went to see Nope on Friday night. It's now Sunday, and thought, why don't we just chat us? Because I know Jess hadn't seen it, and I'd seen it a while ago. So we thought we'd just add to the confusion of this podcast and just talk about us. So over this last, we haven't done a podcast. This will be the second week. So we did do one last week before. So watched loads and loads as usual. Other than working constantly and doing my UEFA kind of football coaching course as I've just finished, it's been a crazy one. So actually freeing up the time to do this is quite tricky. So yeah, it's good to be here. But Jess, you I know you haven't been on for a week or two, couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Was it longer than that? Is it longer than that?
Yeah.
So we can't do the technical side of it tonight again because Jess is waiting for a cable, which we will get soon. So you won't see any trailers. But normally, as soon as we play a trailer, YouTube start moaning about it anyway, and I have to delete stuff. Or not all the time, but it does happen. Which is a bit of a pain. So us, 2019, 116 minutes long, directed by Jordan Peele, a budget of 20 million. And it took $255 million, which is a fair bit, I think. Now, I watched it again last night. My middle son watched it with me. Didn't really understand what was going on whatsoever. But it is, let me do my little intro that I love to do. I know you like this, Jess. So a family's beach vacation turns to chaos when their doppelgangers appear and begin to terrorize them. And that's what we're going to talk about. Why these doppelgangers, it's going to come to hassle them, kill them. So we won't. No, we're going to totally spoil it from the off, yeah? Yeah, you're happy to just ruin it?
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it and then come back and listen to us get confused. Right. So there's a young girl called Addie or Adelaide. So we'll say Adelaide. They go to the fair with her parents. It's like a fair, isn't it? She gets a bit lost, I think, meets a doppelganger, which is a person that looks like you. A look-alike, you could call it. And then reappears. So she meets her and reappears. And that's kind of the gist of it. A while later, this woman's now a grown adult. I think she was like 8 or 9 at the time. Anyway, when she met her doppelganger initially, her husband and her daughter and son go on holiday, and 4 people turn up that look exactly like them, and then chaos commences. So what are you thinking, Jess? Because that is pretty much an introduction to this. So what did you think of it as a first watch? I know you only watched it yesterday, so you might have too much time to digest it or get through what's going on.
Yeah, I think some of it was a little bit confusing. Obviously, the film starts off with that really nice shot of the rabbits in the cages. Yeah. So you already know that there's some sort of lab testing of some kind going on.
Something going on, yeah.
And then, it's, she has this like PTSD from what happened to her as a child. And the child actress was brilliant, I thought, especially and the both versions of the actress. They were great because obviously they were playing 2 different very different characters.
It was the same actress. It wasn't twins or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, they were playing two different characters who were very different, but as the film goes on, they become kind of one and the same. Because you kind of see as the film goes on, the more injured she becomes, her actions and kind of her movements become a lot more like this doppelganger version of herself.
Yeah.
And then there's a twist that obviously we'll talk about at the end. All of that kind of leads up to that, and then it kind of makes sense in a way. At least for me, it did. I don't know if it made sense to you.
Yeah, it did make sense for me. Yeah, I've got some questions, and it's great when you got Larry to actually explain what the hell is going on, or even you. So I'm I will ask you questions, Jess, and you'll have your view on it.
I'll try.
And yeah, so these 4 people attack them. Have they all got something wrong with them? I know the fella's totally different, isn't he? He can't talk. He grunts or makes noises like my children, mate.
Yeah.
He not you, but like the boy's making all these stupid noises.
Most teenagers,
Yeah, they make grunting noises, and so he was like that. The little boy, he was scarred, but he was wearing a mask, and there was a reason for him to wear the mask, and I didn't really get why the one who wasn't a doppelganger, or maybe he wore a mask, but his face was all right.
Yeah, he loves tricks and pranks, and the doppelganger was obsessed with fire, and obviously at some point, presumably something had gone wrong with a fire trick or something.
I didn't get that.
And he wore the mask because his face was all burnt and scarred.
Yeah, it was all burnt up. The girl,
I don't know if there was anything wrong
and
with her because,
But we know why the main character's doppelganger was talking the way she did. She sounded like she had a very bad throat. There's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
Because she got strangled as a child. So yeah, it's this. I liked it. I think it shot beautifully, as they always are. I watched Nope the other night, and that's shot beautifully as well. I think there's lots of hidden messages in this film that kind of pass me by. There's probably a reason for the scissors, is there? I don't know what. So these doppelgangers, I think are they like an American experiment or something? So there is a copy of each person.
They've been cloning people, but then what I didn't really understand was that when it was showing everyone's copies, like on the roller coasters, there were people in a room pretending to be.
Yeah, they were copying everything. It was like
I didn't really get how that worked.
I don't know if they're mentally tethered, because she was saying that they were identical but different, but they shared a soul. Like they could see what each other were doing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bit supernatural. I don't know how that would really work, but it seemed to be whatever was playing out in the real world was playing out in that lab, or whatever you want to call it. Also, I think they were eating the rabbits, weren't they? But it didn't seem that dirty or anything in places. You would have thought if they'd just been looking after themselves, killing rabbits, it'd have been a lot grimier and all that. So I was a little confused, and maybe I shouldn't be looking to it. It's all down to interpretation, isn't it? But I would have thought there'd have been a lot more mess. And every doppelganger was slightly different. And I did like the way that played out when she's walking through the fair, and then the doppelganger is walking in hers. She's seeing all the same kind of thing, just slightly different. So there's a lot of questions for me. And obviously the big twist. So we give the twist away. We might as well, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Let's give that twist away. So at the end of this film, main character, that's what was her name again? It was
Adelaide.
Addie. Yeah, she actually was kind of locked up by the doppelganger, and the doppelganger went into the real world with her parents, but she couldn't talk, could she, at the beginning? So she had to learn that.
Yeah, she had to learn to speak. So I think that's how she got away with the whole kind of PTSD. She stopped talking.
So then until she had learned how to speak, and also the dancing, some of that stuff I didn't understand. Yeah, that confused. I even watched the extras and deleted scenes of this film earlier today, and that didn't make much sense to me either. But so like Jason looks at the end of it, the young lad looks suspiciously at his mum, who gives him a sly smile. Right? Okay, I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's his mum, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because he was locked up by the other one. But yeah, it kind of seemed like he kind of knew something wasn't right.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he would know.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a seagull trying to get into your flat.
So, yeah, it usually is.
Yeah, so there's some good kills in it, I think. I like the kill at the end. She was like a ninja, really, when she was evading the attacks from Addie, the doppelganger Addie that turns out not to be a doppelganger Addie. I thought that was all quite good until she got speared or whatever it was. Yeah, it's not a bad film. I bought this for, I think iTunes had them on offer. I think it was £5 for Get Out, which I've got anyway. But like for those two, so I've got those. I didn't see any links in this at all between that and Nope at all. I didn't see anything. But then I hadn't watched it for a while, so there might well be links between them. In the same universe, who knows? It was all right. I if I was to rate it, so I'm not going to go too much into it because the other boys do all the talking, but I would give it probably a 6. It's beautifully shot at times and it's well crafted, but yeah, it's a bit. I don't know. There's not enough horror elements in it for me anyway. So I would give it a 6. So what are you thinking?
I would probably give it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it.
You'd watch it again. You'd probably get more from it the second time as well. Did you? Well, you own it anyway, don't you?
Yeah, I've got it on Blu-ray because it's one of those things. A long time ago, Shane he won one of those things where you got the popcorn Joe and Seth's things. You could get like a subscription,
right?
And he won one, and every month we got like the latest Blu-ray with like a whole month's worth of popcorn. So
really?
we've got all these Blu-rays, and I've got a bunch of them, and it happened to be us.
Oh wow,
that's
pretty cool.
So
is that still live now or not? Are you still getting sent stuff?
He doesn't get them anymore because he won it through work. So it was like a year's worth that we got a few years back. So yeah, that was back when I think Thor Ragnarok came out as well because we've got that.
Nice. Well, that's decent.
Yeah. It'd be good if you could, I don't know how much they are, but I might have a look into it because actually it's quite good to have.
Well, that deal?
Latest releases and things.
So you can actually do that now as a subscription?
I guess so. I'm hoping you can anyway. Because
I'm going to write it down. What was it called? Because that's great.
Joe and Seth's.
So this week's episode is sponsored by Joe and Seth's.
Oh, that'd be great.
Subscribe to them for popcorn and Blu-rays. I'm gonna look at that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Or it might have been through Samsung actually because he won it through Samsung through work. Yeah. So I don't know if it was a Samsung thing or a Joe and Seth's thing. I'll have to ask him. But
so if you're watching live, let's comment in the chat what you're thinking. What would you rate this? I'm sure there's someone in the chat. So he said like that. Sue's just said popcorn. Kev was sold. I was, Dan. Yep. I love popcorn. Salted, of course.
Popcorn ages.
I don't like sweet popcorn though. It's got to be salted. So I went to Cinema Friday. I didn't have popcorn, though. We only just made it there because there was a big traffic jam. So I'm going to move on to that part of the show where we do Dan's hot pick. Indeed. So, Dan, I had to buy this. So, I was going to rent it. It was £5, or I could get this Blu-ray, and I had number 2 on it as well, and it cost me £4 or something. So I bought that. Okay. The hotel lies empty and silent, obviously closed down years ago. The phone lines are dead, and the youngsters realise they have to spend the night in the hotel. Is that right? Doesn't sound like the same film I watched, actually. But yeah, some kids. It's minus 25 in there. Okay, apparently that's normal for Norway. Minus 25. They get stuck there. They break into this house. Did they run out of fuel? There's something happened anyway, did they? And they decide to break into the house. Not the best idea, I would have thought. And then gradually they all get killed off. So it's the usual thing by some kind of monster. What do they actually call him? He's got a great name. Is that the Mountain Man? Well, that is him. So you got Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers and the Mountain Man. So he kills them off. But the actual beginning of the film starts with a young boy getting chased and buried alive in the snow. And it turns out that, I'm going to ruin this for everyone if you haven't seen it, that the Mountain Man is that young boy, and it was his parents burying him. Why, I don't know. He had like a scar or like a birthmark on his face, which seems a bit extreme, I would have thought, to bury your son in snow because he has a birthmark. So I'm sure there must have been other things wrong with him. It's not a bad film. It's not my favourite hot pick. So I've got this one to watch, and there is a third one. There's some good kills in it. It's in foreign as well, so you have to do a lot of reading in it. So that was okay. Did I watch it? I watched this with Ollie actually, and he said he said he enjoyed it. So that's a good thing. So it's worked well with a 16-year-old boy. He's got a lot from it. Me, not so much. Dan, I hope you watch this, and I want to know what you thought about it. I'm wondering whether we do the second one next week, because, mate, I don't know if it's the same Mountain Man in it or what, but it was all right. It was okay. Not the strongest Dan's pick, but yeah. I seem to be the only one watching Dan's hot picks at the moment, which actually keeps me busy. I've got a great little collection of Dan's hot picks here. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I would recommend going out and watching it. Apparently, there was someone famous in it, briefly. Tom Green. You know Tom Green, comedian? No, nope. You don't know who Tom Green is? Oh my God, Jess.
Right.
So yeah, Dan's giving it a solid 6. I'd probably give it a 5. He's saying Dead Snow is way better. Probably right, but it's a very snowy film. It looked very cold. Yeah, I'm not sure why you want to be that cold, really. So we could do that next week, Dan. Just let me know, or we can do whatever you want to. So let's move on to what we watched this week.
What have you been watching?
No, seriously, what have you been watching?
Nice, 20 minutes in, smashing it. I've done a lot of talking. For me, this is like the old podcast of me just saying, yeah. Shall we start with Prey? Yeah, I know you haven't seen it.
Nope.
So have you seen any of the Predator films?
I'm sure I have. I watched one of the newer ones not that long ago, actually, I think.
Okay.
I've seen bits of the older ones.
So, you're the Predator. So this is like the origin story. The origin story of the Predator in the world of, as I say, Comanche nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one predator. I really like this. As I said in the group chat, it was my favourite film of the year so far. That's on Disney, I think. I suppose we can show a bit of the trailer on that because it's
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailer. I've been meaning to watch that
it's
actually.
really, really good. So basically, because that's it. I didn't put it on my what I watched this week because just a couple of days before, me and Alex watched Alien versus Predator. No, me and Bear actually, the little one. So we watched Alien versus Predator, which is okay. It's a bit weird. It's like a big maze and a pyramid, and aliens and predators and people. But so I watched that just to kind of refresh myself and went on to Prey. So basically, it's set 300 years ago. Weird. Now I have to say this: they are called Native Americans. Okay, so they're warriors and they hunt and everything else, and also they're being hunted by kind of. I'm not sure if they're. I don't think they're Americans. It might be French. And they're getting hunted by then, and then this predator lands and he starts hunting them all basically, and she picks up on it, and it's that. There's lots and lots of kills and some really good ones, and it's just highly entertaining. It's a little bit more like the first one, solo hunting and stuff. It's great. I would highly recommend you go and watch it. Honestly, I'm going to watch it again soon. So yeah, I'd give that an 8, maybe a 9. I think it's the best one since the first one. And it's on a par. It's on a par. It's not quite as good as the first one, but it's better than all the others anyway. That's fact. So, what have you watched, Jess? Let's move on to one of yours because I've got another 3 here, 3 to go through.
I have been watching, and I think I've got the last 2 episodes to watch, the Netflix Resident Evil series.
Is it good?
Well, I haven't seen much of the other like Resident Evils, the games, or anything like that. But this I quite enjoyed. I am quite surprised at the ratings on IMDb of 3.9 out of 10. But I think it's quite good. There's lots of like zombie things, whatever you want to call them, and I like anything with that, anything to do with a virus, and
I've been playing the games a long time, and I've started I'm about halfway through the remastered 3rd one at the moment, and I like them a lot. And the
I think it's supposed to be quite different.
Yeah,
from all the rest.
Well, the films I've got, there's loads of them, and I've got them all. And I need to make my way through them, but some of them are terrible. But yeah, I'd like the whole Resident Evil thing, getting followed by that big thing. Is he in it? The big, whatever he is. I can't remember what he's called.
There's a few different weird
there's a
creatures.
Big character, with a massive character who can't be killed really with a hat on.
No.
He's not turning up yet. He will.
No, there was because we've got 2 episodes left because this is about how the outbreak
happened.
Started. It jumps back and forth between. So it follows these 2, these sisters, twin sisters, and them as kids and how the outbreak happens, and then also them again as adults.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it is. I really like it. I think you should definitely watch it.
I will. Would you say Netflix?
Yeah, it's a Netflix series.
I haven't got Netflix, so it's been cancelled at the moment. So might have to look on Internet Plus, which doesn't always work for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
So another thing I watched, I carry on Obi-Wan Kenobi. I watched them all over the last week or so. I really liked it. It made me feel like I was quite young again. I thought they were really good. Really, really good. I think there wasn't that much of a storyline there, but it was great seeing the fight scenes and the original, the Anakin character again, and I thought it was all right. I know people, has there been people slating it? Maybe Larry did, I don't know, but I quite liked it, so I don't have an issue with that at all. I wouldn't watch it again. I hope there's another series, but I don't know where they go with it. So it was all right, not bad. Let's talk about Nope. So I went to the cinema on Friday. With my oldest boy, and we went to see Nope, which is a Jordan Peele film. So So there's two siblings who run a California horse ranch, discover something wonderful and sinister in the skies above. So I just thought this was going to be an alien film, and kind of maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's the very first scenes in it is mate's the two siblings' father, and kind of all this stuff comes pouring out the sky, and it's like I don't know what coin it is. It's a silver coin, and it enters his skull, and and kills him really. And then it builds on from there. What's making all the stuff fall from the sky? Yeah, and I can't say much more other than they think it's UFOs. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Watching it, I thought it was quite slow in parts, especially the first kind of half hour of it. Especially, I think about 2 hours long. And it dragged its heels a little bit, and then at times it gets stupid. And the best bit in the film is the bits about the monkey, which is nothing. I don't know what that's to do with the rest of the film. It's just like this add-on bit about a monkey who goes a bit mad and kills people. But it's really a chimpanzee. It's really good. Right? If they should have made the film about that, that'd have been amazing. But I'll give it an 8. It was a lot of fun. It kept me entertained. No issues with that one at all. So you watched anything else, Jeff?
I know I have been watching things, but it's just completely gone out of my mind at the moment. I have got a lot on my watch list actually. I've got a lot of horrors on my Netflix to watch list. A lot of Korean ones actually that keep popping up.
Oh, you just keep adding
I can't remember the names of any. That's just every time something pops up that looks interesting, I just add it to my list. So at some point, I'm probably just going to have like a horror night and just watch a whole bunch of them.
One of Dan's hot picks was, I think that was Korean. That was amazing.
Yeah, some of them do look really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'll probably give some of those a watch at some point next week. So I've got some time off work. So
nice.
Yeah.
I've got loads to watch. I keep buying Blu-rays. So I've got to stop doing it. I got this one, right, which was on the BBC called Dracula. Apparently it's terrible, but I'm going to watch that. It's just loads at the moment. I'm trying to play games, and I haven't played any games really recently. But so the only other thing I've watched is I started Stan versus Evil. Do you know what that is? No.
No.
It's just this ex-cop, and there's a new cop. I think is his sheriff. She's the sheriff or whatever, and all the spooky goings on in it. And they're very funny. They're lots of fun. The main character is amazing, and I won't say much more because I'm only on episode 2. But it's a lot of fun, and apparently it does get better. So Dan watched, which was great for Dan. He's watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but he won't give away any spoilers. I'm glad about that. Has that got Jim Carrey in? Is Jim Carrey in that one? I'm sure he may have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be the quickest episode, but it is only a bonus episode, just to say to everyone who subscribed and that we are still here. We're still doing it. I might put out some gaming videos where I'll just walk around confused, not knowing what button to press at some point soon. Hopefully Larry and Ewan are back next week so we can do this Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child, and then we're doing The Final Nightmare after that, and then New Nightmare, and then whatever else comes up. We're heading towards that 100 mark. Twitter's doing really well over 1,000 now, and YouTube's doing amazingly well. So I'm really pleased how it's all taken off. So wish we had more live people though. We don't seem to have it at the moment. So it's probably because we're not in America. Maybe we need to do one at 10 in the morning. So there you go. So next week we'll be back with episode, I think it's 88. Was it 89? I can't even remember. It might be 89. Dream Child. Dan's hot pick. What did he say? Come on, Dan. Give us a hot pick before we shoot off. So yeah, we can talk about that. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's the Bones Horror Pod. YouTube, Bones Horror Pod as well, I think. You can email us at the boneshorrorpod. No, it's boneshorrorpod@gmail.com. That's about it, really. We do the Instagram sometimes.
Sometimes.
Bones Horror Pod. I've kept the swearing to a minimum tonight, so it's a child-friendly one, so I'm not mentioning Facebook. So, we'll be back next week then. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we will see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.